Spouse, F26, wants an open relationship. Hi all. I have a bit of a conundrum going on and I'm not sure how to process it. First of all, my M26 spouse and I have been married for 6 years. Like all relationships, there have been ups and downs. One of the issues has been sex. We do not have sex very often. She has rarely been in the mood to have sex with differing reasons. It's too messy. Her medication lowers her libido, past trauma, preferring women over men sexually, all of which are perfectly valid reasons and all of which I understood. Then another reason came up which prompted today's raw. There is no sexually chemistry in our relationship and there never has been. This one hit different. The other ones were a mild disappointment, but this one has fucked my head up. She wants us to see other people sexually but stay married. I don't know how to handle this. I do not want to see other people sexually as I still have a sexual bond to her, and while there are different views of sex and I'm not opposed to FWBs or casual sex, it feels more sacred when you're married. When I told this to her, she said that most guys would be down for this and this is no big deal. Which maybe yes, but everyone is different. One thing that stings is her desire to see other men sexually, which after years of being told that she doesn't really like dick, really hurts. I have always supported her desire to sleep with women if she wants to and have encouraged her to find someone to experiment with, however she never had. When I expressed this to her, I was told that is a double standard that I shouldn't have. This is something that I know is a double standard, but I don't know about not having it. Nor do I know how to get rid of it. She says she gets where I'm coming from, but also says I'm not being mature and that me not being secure enough in a relationship to let this happen is a big turn off. To put it lightly, I have been very upset since hearing this news. I couldn't sleep on the first night and I've been taking melatonin and drinking to get myself to sleep. I find no desire to do anything anymore. I've tried to reason with myself that everything would be okay and that my feelings and thoughts are selfish, but I keep bouncing around from content to very depressed. I break down crying randomly, something she ignores or gets angry with me about, so I've been working on hiding it. There is another thing, and that's our codependency. Which yes, we are, or we're codependent, and I understand that she feels like she's lost her identity to please me and keep me happy, something I feel really bad about. She is also unhappy because she feels smothered by me, which again I understand and am working on not doing anymore. I don't know what to do anymore. I feel lost. I feel like even though I haven't lost my partner, I still have lost her and a major key to our relationship. I'm confused and I don't know how to process any of it. Part of me feels it would have been better if we did just divorce so she can be happy and do her thing, but I love her and I feel she loves me too still, but just not sexually. Any thoughts or advice would be appreciated. Post edit. I was perfectly okay with not having sex with my wife while she was sorting out her problems prior to this conversation. I was very understanding of where she was coming from and never thought less of her for not wanting to have sex. It sucked, yes, but I understood. In my experience, she may have found a guy and is trying to justify hooking up with him by being in an open relationship. So keep it simple. Your answer is no. You are not cool with it. If she needs that, then it's time to break up. It's okay to be selfish about what you want in your life. It's really just having a self, and you have an implicit right to your feelings. Neither of you have an obligation to make it work at the expense of yourselves. I am confused. She rarely wants to have sex, but is yet the one proposing an open relationship? You also never had a sexual chemistry in the years you have been together? Emo, there is a lot wrong here. Someone who is rarely in the mood to have sex and proposes open relationship, in my opinion, means she does not want to have sex with you. I honestly don't know why you are married to someone like that, to be honest. She clearly is lacking something and wants to find it elsewhere, but still want to keep you on the sideline. It's time to rip the band-aid off. You both deserve to be in full relationships with people who you are attracted to and who is attracted to you. Why would you want a half relationship? She's a lesbian but wants to stay married to a man? No. Go off and get with who desires you. It sounds like she just wants other dick that's not yours. If she truly loved you, then sex with you would be enough. You guys have no sex life, and you saying yes to this will make it so she never has sex with you. I would divorce her. She's not happy with your relationship and that's why she's seeking physical connection elsewhere. She has proven that she doesn't need you but also doesn't want to lose you. Why stay? She wants to change the terms of your already established monogamous relationship. Quite often when someone proposes this and are very forceful about it, they are intending to cheat or are already cheating. Preferring women over men sexually. But you're male. How did you even get into this fucked up relationship? There is no sexually chemistry in our relationship and there never has been. Bruh. Why are you with this person? Move on and find someone actually compatible. Most guys would be down for this and it's not a big deal, is invalidating your feelings in a major way and a huge red flag. Don't be with someone who disrespects you in that way. I would have a stern talk about that first and foremost, and if she doesn't see that there is another point of view than her own, then nothing you do or say will make this work. Sexual incompatibility is a valid reason to break up, and if she feels you two are not for each other in that way and it is important for her, she should end the relationship, not string you along as her safety net while she fucks about. My brother and mom call me petty for not getting over something that happened 2 years ago. I'm 25 female, dating my boyfriend, 25 male, for the past 3 years and I absolutely adore him and see a future with him. Before I got with my boyfriend I had a guy BFF, 25 male, who we were very close with. Sometimes our actions would be misunderstood and everyone would think we're a couple. I didn't like being called a couple, but my BFF seemed to enjoy it. Anyway, after I got with my boyfriend I made sure to set boundaries with my BFF, which included, no more cuddling, no back massages, no sleepovers or nights out being wasted. I wouldn't like my boyfriend doing that to me, so it was only reasonable for me to make sure my boyfriend feels secure. My BFF seemed to understand the boundaries at first, but after then he started acting like those boundaries didn't exist and did what he did before. I told him multiple times to stop, but he wouldn't listen. He made my boyfriend uncomfortable on purpose on multiple occasions, and he'd also embarrass him publicly to get a reaction out of him, and I had enough of his actions, so I made it clear to him that we're done. The last straw which led me to do this was when we were out with some of my BF's friends. My BFF was there too, and he introduced himself as my original boyfriend and my main love. I never dated him and I never loved him as anything more than a friend. So when he said that, I was taken aback. Everyone, including me, my BF's friends and my boyfriend, felt very uncomfortable. In order to avoid starting drama at that moment, we all tried to enjoy the night, and the next day I met with my BFF and told him we're done. He never apologized for his actions. He even claimed my boyfriend is jealous and it's not his fault, he's insecure. When I told him I had an issue with what he did as well, he just said okay fine bye. No remorse for what he did. I met him on some friend outings from time to time. I'd typically say hi, but I refused to engage in conversation. Recently my brother got a text from him, asking to hang out, and I was shocked because they barely knew each other. My brother started hanging out with him despite me telling him I'd find it disrespectful if he hanged out with a guy who he barely knew, and also tried to cause drama in my relationship, but my brother went. He's been hanging out with him since and I don't like it, but I don't really speak on it, I ignore it. Yesterday my mom asked me why I'm still not talking to ex-BFF, and I said because he never apologized for what he did. She says that I need to get over it and stop being petty because he'll be visiting our house a lot now since he and my brother arranged to play PS5 every Sunday in our home. I said no way will I ever be okay with that. She and my brother insist I'm petty and immature. I don't know what the right thing to do is at this point. Is there a way to move on? TLDR. Ex-BFF got in contact with my brother and my mom and bro claim in petty for not forgiving him. Why is your family so involved in this kind of drama? You're 25. Nope, not petty at all. Your feelings are valid. He well overstepped the mark, like literally leapt over your boundaries, and made you and your partner uncomfortable. He seems to think he has some weird right to you, over your boyfriend. If he was a dog he'd probably pee on your leg. You can't decide who your brother gets to be friends with. Even though in my opinion it's a dick move. But they also don't get to decide how you feel about it. I guess he's going to be around more, but you don't have to engage with him any more than you choose to. You're not petty. Ignore him if he's in your house or not. I would make plans not to home on Sundays from now on. Sounds like he's using your brother to get to you, to be honest, and playing the victim to your brother and mother. Ignore him if you're home, or better yet, arrange to be elsewhere when you know he's coming to your house. No, not petty. You ended a friendship after this guy refused to respect your boundaries and went out of his way to make your life uncomfortable. He still hasn't apologized. There's no reason why you want to get over it, considering he has made no effort to make amends or shown he understands or is remorseful for the harm he caused. Do you live with your mom? If so, you may take this as the nudge to change your life a lot and move, or at least, spend every visit from twatface elsewhere. If you don't, I guess you mum will have to accept she's not going to be seeing as much of you as she might otherwise have done. You can be petty all you want, that's your decision. You can't do nothing about the way they feel about it. Ignore them. Your family is so immature. Amazing how he only wanted to be friends with your brother after you dropped him. Stop talking about it. Gray rock the situation, and if he's at the house, literally pretend he isn't there. Nothing besides a hi. Move through your home as if he doesn't exist. But stop engaging in the drama by responding. Ignore it fully. Let people be drama llamas on their own. He's just using your brother as an excuse to be near you. Not petty, and your mom is just talking from an uninvolved point of view. Don't worry about it. The truth will come out. Update. My fiancé cheated on me. A little over a week ago, I made a post about my fiancé cheating on me with his 20-year-old apprentice, stylist under him. I thought I'd make a quick update and answer some of the frequent comments. Originally, he was reluctant to go to see a therapist with me. My personal therapist had recommended we see a colleague of hers, but ultimately I decided I no longer wanted to be in the relationship. We have gone to 2 sessions with my therapist to try and salvage a friendship for our child Sake. He agreed to keep going and is actually paying for it. He still wants to try and win me back. I met with one lawyer and did not like him at all. So I'm still looking for someone. I gave him the heads up in one of our sessions. He was pissed, but my therapist helped him realize having concrete terms we have to stick to is beneficial for the baby. He told me during one of our sessions he came clean because she told him she loved him and saw a future with him. He said he doesn't love her and doesn't want a future with her. She already knew about me and had met me a handful of times. Mostly everyone he works with knows me and knew what was going on. He wasn't worried about anyone spilling the beans. She's not pregnant. I won't be contacting the owner like some people had mentioned in my post. I'm not going to screw around with my kids' future money, that's not okay in my book. He said he also feels so much more relevant at his new salon and that all the younger people look to him for advice and almost like he's a hair god, his words not mine, and it feels really good to be appreciated for his talents again. He doesn't want to leave the salon. He admitted to feeling scared about being a dad and he wasn't anticipating that, and he was upset I wasn't as stoked as he was in the beginning. It made him feel like I didn't want a family with him. He said he's been feeling underappreciated at home and started looking elsewhere. I can kinda see where he's coming from with that. After not leaving our house for months last year, I think we got into a weird pattern. I just wish he would have communicated that with me before he chose to have an affair. I think it's obvious I'm not having an abortion, even though many of you suggested that. Too long did not read. Just an update from my prior post. Also sorry to anyone who DM'd me, my phone and computer won't let me open the messages. Not sure if it's a glitch. He said he's been feeling underappreciated at home and started looking elsewhere. I can kinda see where he's coming from with that. I'm sure your therapist has likely already addressed this, but just in case, just know that the way he handled his needs not being met was not okay, and I hope that you don't harbor any sort of blame on yourself for his actions in this regard. He said he's been feeling underappreciated at home and started looking elsewhere. I'm glad you chose to break up, because with that attitude you'd never be able to trust him. Instead of working on your relationship, he looked for instant gratification and chose to seek external validation. That's all on him. He handled it wrong and you're not to blame. He doesn't want to leave the salon. If he was serious about fixing your relationship, he would. But it seems the ego boost of being looked up to is not something he can easily give up. He was pissed, but my therapist helped him realize having concrete terms we have to stick to is beneficial for the baby. You're doing everything right. I hope he's a better father than as a partner. As someone who was cheated on during pregnancy, I'm very sorry you're going through all this. You're one tough cookie, and you should be proud of yourself for making a hard call. You will be a wonderful mother. I'm glad this is working out for you. I'm sorry you had to experience this though. Sad face. Feeling underappreciated should not be a reason for you to cheat. You either try to communicate or just leave your spouse. That's how I see it, and the fact that he's trying to find excuses for his deeds makes him more ugly and messed up. He said he's been feeling underappreciated at home and started looking elsewhere. I can kinda see where he's coming from with that. After not leaving our house for months last year, I think we got into a weird pattern. I just wish he would have communicated that with me before he chose to have an affair. Fuck that manipulation bullshit. He made the choice. He could have communicated with you. I can't believe how often this needs to be repeated, but here we go again. Stop hands clapping, staying hands clapping with hands clapping, cheaters hands clapping, hands clapping, hands clapping. Just to be clear, are you looking for a lawyer to divorce? Sounds like he is doing a lot of blame shifting. I don't see much of anything in there that he accepts responsibility for his actions. BF, 24, wants me, 23, to be hands-on with our kids and only work part-time. Me and my boyfriend have been dating for almost 4 years now, and we're in a serious and committed relationship with plans on getting married soon. We started talking about home arrangements with kids, and we got to the topic of how we should handle the kids. He told me that he will shoulder all the finances and work full-time, and that I should be hands-on with the kids. Edit. We don't have kids yet, but we plan on having at least 2. The thing is, I am quite the achiever and have always been career-driven. I grew up with an amazing stay-at-home mother, and I saw what it's like to be one, and I can't imagine myself being in such situations, stuck doing redundant chores with your life revolving around maintaining the house and watching over the kids. I do want to have kids and be hands-on with them in the most important things, but I also want to have a work of my own and have a small sense of life outside of being a mother. My boyfriend, on the other hand, grew up from a wealthy family. His parents hired a nanny to watch over them, and his mother mostly missed some significant times with him. He grew up hating that arrangement, and would want our kids not to go through the same thing. We got into a clash because I told him that we should hire a nanny and then I could take over when we return from work and spend some quality time with the kids. But he disagreed and said that I should only work part-time so I can take care of the kids because it's ideal for the mother to be the one with the kids. I told him that I want to have my own work too. But he always insists that being a stay-at-home mom is a work too, one of the hardest works out there. I told him that I meant something like a corporate work that would always get my gears running, and he said that why would I want to prioritize that over our kids. He said that many people want to do a lot of things, but it's impossible to do all of it. I asked him if he's asking me to give up on my career to be a stay-at-home parent, and he told me that he shouldn't even be asking me that because I should want to do it myself. He keeps pushing the idea of working freelance or part-time, but I prefer a corporate work full-time. I ended up closing the topic, but I feel very disturbed at the thought of being a stay-at-home parent. What should I do about this? If he wants someone to stay home with the kids so bad, then he should be the one to do it. If I was in your situation, I would end the relationship here. I couldn't keep it going, knowing fully that my partner would have a really different opinion than mine, on a topic this important. Nobody would win except if one would retaliate and forget about its own opinion, but this could totally bring resentment later. So maybe you should explain to him that what he wants is a suggestion and not an order. Now that he has all the info, he can help hire a nanny or work a part-time job himself. P.S. His work a part-time job suggestion is really a suggestion to work 1 and 1/2 jobs, neither being the job you want. I agree with his reasoning and think it's important too. But it's not imperative that just the mom stays home. Why can't he be the involved parent and stay home or just work part-time? The fact he automatically thinks it's the mother's job to take care of the kids is wrong. This is why you have these conversations before kids are even a possibility. People call me crazy, but before I get into a serious relationship and/or bust inside a woman, we talk about 1. Abortion, 2. Children, 3. Our future goals. If she doesn't agree with abortion, wants children, and sees her future mainly as being a mother, she ain't getting my nut. I don't want kids, simple as that. But if I did, I definitely wouldn't have them with somebody who didn't align with my future goals, to be honest. Person shrugging, light skin tone. Your boyfriend doesn't seem very interested in what you want. How would you feel raising a daughter and seeing her grow up to find a partner who treats her this way? And she thinks it's normal to have to give up her own ambitions based on what her partner tells her he wants her to do. I saw your comment about how you believe he can be convinced. Why do you think, I don't want to do that, wouldn't be a convincing enough reason for him to agree you shouldn't do what you don't want to do? I heard a mother say once, should my kids achieve everything I want to? Is that really fair to them and me? You're not going to be happy, and that arrangement only benefits your BF. If working makes you happy, that doesn't make you a bad mom. Sacrificing yourself, dreams, desires isn't the example you want for your kids.